Hello, Swaddy Kap. Welcome again to Atum Ra Raw. I'm Atum, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about activating the crystal within. So, the reason I wanted to talk on that topic specifically is I was exercising this morning underneath the sunlight. As you can see, I'm enjoying what some people would call sunlight and other people would call haze and whatnot right now, but I see the beauty in it all, and it's all necessary. So, anyways, I was doing some stretches, some exercises in the sunlight, which, for one, it's completely difficult to do if you're not already moving yourself out of a corrupted physical state. Many people, I have friends, when it doesn't matter what your skin pigment is or whatnot, but I have friends who've told me that, oh, I can't go out the sun makes me itch, or they get sunburns and whatnot. And all of those things actually come from the fact that there's an imbalance within their bodies. And if basically your body has more of this imbalance in it, of course, when you start to get into the proper alignment of things, it's going to feel abrasive at first. So for those same people who would say that, oh no, I can't go outside, I don't, the sun doesn't do well with me, I would say, well, what are you eating? Always, that always is what it comes back down to. Because if you're dealing with processed foods, then of course the naturalness of the sun is going to clash with the processes that your body's undertaking. Anyways, but activating the crystal. So while I was here meditating and exercising, I actually took the time to look at my body. Things that we don't actually even notice, to look at your pores opening up. And there's a movie where, I think it's Twilight, yeah, where the vampires in Twilight, their skin sparkles when in the sunlight. They don't burn like Blade and all of that stuff, whatever. Their skin sparkles. Now, I'm not trying to say anything supernatural so much, but ultimately most of us have that same thing, because each fragment, each cell of our body is like a mini crystal. It's like a mini version of this massive self that is us. So I just saw the sweat glands and the pores on my body opening up to the light, because we are ultimately just this crystal that's inside this prism, and this light that's nurturing us is just refracting inside of us and spreading that energy throughout every molecule of us, as well as outwards. So the people who are around us are getting affected by these same massive waves of energy. So for me personally, like I said, or I don't know if I even mentioned it, but my favorite crystal is amethyst, but my favorite color is also violet. Um, well, this is more of just a royal purple. But just like the chakras, or in Kemetic time, we might have said Shen, which is the same things. It's just the central power cells of the body, the organs, the yes, the organs. That's basically basic way I could put it. Are usually best associated with a color. So violet for me is the upper realm. It's the crown chakra. It's enlightenment. It's wisdom. It's conscious thought, no longer just subconscious. So I wear that color, and amethyst always helps seem to enhance that. So for me, I tend to gravitate more to that color, and for me, I'm turning myself into an amethyst crystal in that same type of sense, because I want that type of energy when people see me moving through the world. I want wisdom, I want enlightenment to be the things that they are able to obtain from that. Oh, I see a delivery first. Okay. Anyways, so, but anyways, to get this back on to how that works with diets, is just like how in the periodic table, every element that's in the periodic table, and this is some real alchemy stuff we're going to talk about for a minute, because our bodies are, everything that we put into our bodies is an alchemical process. We just don't think of it like that. But everything that goes into your body is technically a drug in its sense. Food, air, all of those things have these processes that we have come to say that we rely on and need. But it's not always true in that sense. So in the in the body, anything you put in the body, specifically, they tell you to follow your gut. And many of us think that means like, oh, just your intuition. But it actually means, from the actual scientific standpoint, that our gut is not just our second brain. This brain is the second brain in a sense. Our gut, or our whole body, is technically the mind, for one. But our gut controls the thoughts that are going on in our head every day. Because if we eat something bad, now our mood feels bad. Or we wake up in the morning feeling uncomfortable. This is something I myself battled with many years, and ultimately led me down the path to going veganism, to becoming a vegan. Apologies. Because I just got tired of hurting. And so the more light we're putting into our bodies, if our bodies are crystals, the more we are opening us up our chakras, or Shen, to all the other spectrums. You understand? That light is hitting us. The lighter the foods, or the pure energy, the pure light, the sun, that's hitting us, now is refracting, or reflecting, I guess you'd say, outside of us and within, of course. And it's opening up a whole spectrum, whereas first we might have only saw it as just one thing. Oh, it's a blinding white light. I'd say the sun is yellowish sometimes, depends on it. I sun gaze, so I can look straight at it. But it's opening up so much more. And I like to say that our stomachs are a cauldron. So even when it comes to my raw veganism, someone asked me about why I still actually enjoy eating soups, as well as um, drinking tea. Because I know some people might say, oh, no, that's not fully raw. You're still technically cooking something, or whatnot. But a broth, for me, of course, I always speaking from my personal experience. When you're cooking food, even in a vegan diet, you are now burning and killing off more of the nutrients that you would have gotten from those plants than if you were to just eat those plants raw, of course. But in my own logic, if I don't actually burn the flesh of these plants, or anything of that sort, and instead I let it simmer inside of a water, another natural element. It's like I'm adding multiple elements into this pot, and then let that, instead of that brew just getting burnt out, instead of that nutrients just getting burnt out, it is now seeped into the water. Now, when I say soups, I'm not saying to add all those things and all of the extra seasonings and whatnot. And I'm also not telling you to don't season your food. That's ridiculous. To go ahead and do what feels best for you. But I'm just saying, from my personal experience, a soup, if I'm telling you that my stomach or our guts are an alchemy beaker, or they would have said a witch's cauldron back in the day. They might a cauldron, a big pot that you're stirring like you're stewing. I tend to say, make the process of digestion easier on yourself by already incorporating that water. And many people, that's one thing. You can't even think about going breatharian straight off of a diet that's not even, that your body can't handle. You'll end up, I don't know, you'll end up sick. It'll be difficult. Let me never say can't, but it'll be difficult. And, excuse me, I see the lights going away a little bit. And so to get back on that, so if I'm adding a liquid substance to now these heavier foods, because plants are still heavy as well. And ultimately the main thing, like I said, we want to eat is the sunlight. So veganism is that much closer to eating sunlight. Because people ate the cows, because the cows ate the grass all day, and the grass ate the sunlight. Okay, well, we're trying to get to a point in our life where we're cutting out that middleman. So we already said we cut out the meat. Bomb. Meat done. Done. Bomb. Now you're eating the plants. You've realized, oh, I have more energy because the plants absorbed the sun all day. Didn't have to sleep, didn't have to do any of those things. It absorbed that all day. But you'll still feel the density of that. That's why your body ultimately expels the things that it doesn't need anymore, through urine and defecation, or feces or poop, whatever. So, but if you add that liquid, especially a warm liquid, because we're hot inside, we got the fire inside of us all the time, it's now making that churning process inside your stomach a lot easier. And you're not going to be bringing up so much of these gas. And the things that you're associating with as sickness is most of the time just gas. You have pains and aches all over your body, and you think, oh, I must have slept bad and this and that. No, it's the food shifting in your stomach without any proper balance to it. You see, if your stomach has stomach acids, then you probably would need a base in order to counteract how much acid is going into your stomach. You understand what I mean? Anyways, so to make it so that long story is short, I drink soups. I don't eat it with every meal, and I don't even eat a meal every single day. But the reason why we believe in drinking soups is for that purpose of helping that actual digestive process. I'm not just throwing breads and rice and these drier foods into a tar pit of acid and just hoping that my body's going to feel great energetically. I'm also adding the water and bringing back some of those things, bringing down some of the salt levels and whatnot. Um, and ultimately, your crystal will be happy for it. And you'll understand that a lot more other crystals will start unlocking for you. And that's having an awakening. That's having that kundalini rising, those type of thoughts. But first things first, you have to start at the root. What is the root of most people's problem? It's bad health. It's bad physical health. And I don't even mean it from you have to be super skinny or any of those natures or be a super athlete. But you just have to get up and move. You just have to move your body. And then from the moving of your body, your mind will start to say, well, if I'm going to keep constantly moving my body, I'd like for it to be a little less difficult, a lot more easy. So maybe I should cut back on this food. I'm not even telling people to switch all their diets right now. That's a process we're going to go together on. But just to start consciously thinking about their bodies again. I'm not trying to lower people's frequency. I'm just trying to make people see that your physical body is high frequency all the time as well. You don't have to only meditate to get high frequency. You just have to realize I am frequency. Everything I do, I move in a wave. It's all with a purpose and it's all push and pull. But a lot of us have been pulling too much, or a lot of us have been pushed too much. Don't do any of those things too fast. Before this video is done, I did want to touch on another question I got asked about. It was about what am I doing when it comes to water? You know, right now, like I said, we are on our raw path. Today, actually, we had some rice, though. We had some rice, and I still had some guacamole. You know, I love my avocados, which is very heavy in it. I'm actually considering fasting in the next few days, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But anyways, to get back to the question, it was about water and just period. What am I doing about these water? And I'll put it like this. At this point on our planet, in our bodies, we are already covered in the nanobots or whatever people want to say, the fluorides, the chemical processes, the GMO, everything on this planet has been affected. I know some people who try their hardest to grow their foods natural, organic. They grow their plants natural and organic. And it doesn't matter because the person at the farm next door to them is spraying Monsanto on all of their stuff. And the wind's carrying that over to their fields. So at this point in existence, all you can really do is try to live as close to godly as possible. So, and set intentions in your food. I'm not saying pray, I'm not saying anything like that, but hey, if you got this plate of food will give me wisdom, it'll give me all the nutrients that I need. It'll be pranic, it'll be prana, it'll be pure energy, beneficial, no polarity to it. So to bring it to the water, just to tell you what I'm doing. We know that the water we receive from governments and whatnot, it's lacking the nutrients that it would have had for us back in, I don't even know, let's say 200 years. It's lacking the nutrients from that. Just because in doing us a solid, let's say, because I try not to attack all of these things, but in trying to take care of people and saying, okay, some people were drinking contaminated waters, so we're going to now process this water. There goes that word again, process. We're going to process the waters and we're going to clean out all the bacteria. But there's certain bacteria that people talk about all the time, like omega 3s and B12 and whatnot, that were actually beneficial for our bodies. So they say, of course. But in that process, there's no one screening to be like, ah, hey, there goes B12 passing through. Let's leave that one alone. It's just straight up like an atomic nuke to your water, and then bottle it, sell it to the people. So I've personally have experienced drinking bottled water and felt like I've been more thirsty and lost more energy just from drinking it. So what me and my wife do is, like I said, you can only do as best as you can do. Everything you've done in your life, you're doing it the best you can at that time. Whether it came out terrible, whether it came out great, it was the best you could do at that time. So for us right now, we're drinking, like I said, I go back to I'm okay with soups, I'm okay with teas. So we are boiling the water, of course, to make tea. And in that process of boiling, it's helping to eliminate some of any of the extra things that I guess you could say could have been missed or also could have been added. I don't need any extra vitamins. And if I did, I will take the liberty to go out and go find that myself, you know? I know tons of things. Your mind tells you all the time. It's not just cravings, that tell you, oh, let me go eat an apple today. Sometimes your mind is like, no, we're lacking that little bit of energy from that specific thing. We know that apples would give that to us. So we're brewing the water, and I'm hoping that that helps kill off the fluoride, but it doesn't matter to me. Nothing could calcify my pineal gland, and what Babylon mean for evil, Jah mean for bless. And man, the dogs are acting up. They're telling me, cut the video short. Drinking teas, and back to my color schemes and awakening my crown chakras and whatnot. I drink a lot of butterfly pea tea. That's something that's very prevalent here in Thailand, and it makes the water violet. And we either drink hot tea or we'll just brew it, let it sit, put it in the fridge, and then now we have that. As it pertains to exercising, while I'm exercising, I like to drink coconut water. If I and I'm lucky enough to have it straight cut, you know, no added anything. I will drink the coconut water, and even sometimes I might eat the flesh of the coconut meat. But predominantly just to add back the electrolytes and not do it in an unnatural process or whatnot. I'm drinking coconut water when I can, when I feel like I need it. But most of my day, almost, let's say 98% of my day, I'm only drinking hot teas, or even just drink the water straight and say, okay, this might not give me the nutrients right now, but it is possibly doing something. My body understands that this is an energy that I need in some sense, and anything that is not meant for this body, the body shall expel. But that's also why you need to exercise. There's a reason why it's called exercise, because everything that goes into the body is a drug, and drugs is, might as well say, demons, because there's people who are losing their mind because of all of these drugs, and they're calling it addictions. You understand? So your body will take care of it, but if you exercise, now it's getting taken care of a lot more. Purge yourself of all of those negative feelings, all of those negative demons, and watch it come out in sweat. Literally. Your body will start telling you everything you need to know. But other than that, stay hydrated when you need. If you're eating food, you must hydrate, period. It'll always help cleanse out your body that way. And if you choose to fast, know that you got my love and support. And I hope that you guys are always loving and supporting me as well. I will see you in the next video. Let's see, do I have anything specifically planned? I don't think so, but feel free to ask me a question as we go about this journey. I haven't weighed myself yet for the day, but I've already done my morning exercises. I've done a midday exercise as well. And after this video, I might go ride my bike for a little bit just to get out there, change your perspective. The world isn't suffering, you're suffering, but that's because you've chosen to suffer. You could see beauty in so many things. Pick up a new task, or just try the new experience of going raw, or just pick up veganism in general. Then we'll talk about fasting. But for now, if you want to talk about pure breatharianism, check out my brother Tom Elamines videos. That's my mentor. Anyways, peace and love to all of you. Cow.